All right, now we're doing 7Q, new 5-pound note collector. This is by E. Jalonek, and 91% of the people like it. New 5-pound notes have been recently released in the UK, and they've certainly become a sensation. Even those of us who haven't been carrying any cash around for a while, blah, 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 blah. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to take this number, and we're going to subtract every single one of these, and then we're going to divide that number by 5 and get this number. And if this minus these is less than 0, we're going to return 0. All right? So, that being said, let's start. We're going to start with a for loop, iterating through this thing here. All right? So we're going to say for let I equals 0, while I is less than bills.length, we're going to say I plus plus. All right? And then after that, we're going to say salary minus equals bills at the current index, right? So it's just going to subtract this, this, and this from this, right? Now we're going to do an if statement just in case this number is negative. So we're going to say if salary is less than 0, we're going to say return 0. And if not, we're going to return salary divided by 5. And since we're only looking for integers, not floats, we're going to use this bitwise OR operator, which if you put something here with like a float with any kind of numbers past the decimal point and then 0, watch what happens. Test it out. See, look at that. 5. It always does a floor. You know, it always rounds down. So we're going to say bitwise OR 0. Test it out. Good. Attempt it. All right. And let's see how. 3 milliseconds. That's pretty fast. Let's see if we can beat it with the concise syntax, or if we got to come back and submit this one. All right. So what we're going to do here is first we're going to start by saying const this. We're going to put an equal sign between these two things, and then we're going to make an arrow right here. And what we're going to use here is we're going to take care of the 0, the less than 0 situation. We're going to use this Math.max, which is a function that returns the largest of the 0 or more numbers given as input parameters. So we're going to have 0, and then what we're going to do to get the value right here, and whichever one's bigger is what's going to be returned. Right? So we're going to say down here Math.max, and the little thing we're going to have to do is, like I said before, is this minus these divided by 5 with the remainder, with the bitwise OR operator 0. So we're going to say salary minus, and to get these three things added up together so we can subtract it all from this at once, we're going to use the reduce method, which executes a user-supplied reducer callback function on each element of the array in order, passing in the return value from the calculation on the preceding element. All right, and we're going to have to deal with this too, because the first time the callback is run, there is no return value of the previous calculation. But if supplied, an initial value may be used in its place, and so that's what we're going to do. All right, so we're going to say minus bills.reduce. All right, and let me show you the syntax real quick. I forgot to show you. We're going to be using this reduce previous value, current value, arrow function, the expression we're going to use, which is basically just previous value plus current value, and then we're going to have the initial value, which will be 0. All right, so we're going to have in here prev for previous, cur for current. Outside of their parentheses, we're going to have a arrow right there, and then we're going to say prev plus cur, and then we're going to have comma initial value, which is 0, right? And then outside of the salary versus outside of this one, we're going to have a comma, all right, So it's going to be, this is going to be the first value, comma 0. So it's going to compare this value versus this value. And then once it gets the max, we're going to do the, the divided by 5 and the bitwise OR operator. Like that. Is this too many spaces? Yeah, it is. Test it out. And there it goes. It works. Right? Attempt it. All right. Let's scroll down, see how long it takes. 3 milliseconds versus 3 milliseconds. Okay. Well, we're going to put this one up there. Submit it. All right. My solutions, very much like this. Best practice in my opinion. And we'll see you next time.